You look at just contemporary issues in media and the way media is being consumed by families, the fact that families aren't forming, those that do form are dissolving. One of the biggest crises in America that we see today is the fact that so many children are growing up without a dad. Why is the family so important? Why does it matter so much? Well, if you look at just fundamental structures, outcomes for children, when a family is intact, when a father is involved in his children's life, you see huge increases in positive outcomes for children and decreases in at-risk factors. You look at intergenerational poverty. So many people, including our team at the Deseret News, are worried about cycles of repetitive intergenerational poverty. Well, it turns out the #1 predictor of breaking the cycle of poverty is not more welfare funding, it's not even more education, it's strengthening the inner city family. And there's just not enough attention going into this in media. And one of the things we hope we can bring to this dialogue is, how does that get broken, and what is the role of the family? And the family, by the way, should not be a wedge issue. It should not be a political issue. Whether you're conservative or liberal, Democrat or Republican, religious or not religious, you ought to be concerned about the American family because it has so many second-order impacts on our society. Today, 1 in 3 American children grow up without a father in the home. If you're African American, that number goes up to half. If you're born to a mother who's 30 years or younger, that number approaches nearly half. And we know so much in the social science literature about the importance of a father in the home, and yet most contemporary media companies have given very little attention to this fundamental shift in the demographics of America. We also see this in what we've called the War on Boys, in a multi-part series looking at what's happening to our boys. And no doubt it's connected to the fact that we don't have fathers in the lives of many of these boys, but we see jumps in truancy rates and high school dropout rates and drug addiction and video game addiction. And for the first time, you're seeing significantly higher numbers of young women in this country getting college education than our boys. And one of the great things we've done in this country is educate our girls, but our boys are falling by the wayside. And look, I'm the father of 6 girls, and one of the things my wife and I say as we read some of this is, who are they going to marry? And we know this is something that great media organizations need to be focused on, and with strong, rich, and robust journalism. We did a survey of readership, looking at what things resonated with the American family. And we started that in our own market in Salt Lake City, Utah. But as we rolled that out and did a national survey of news consumers around the country, we found this huge gap in what most news organizations were covering versus what most of America wanted. And we found this large segment of American society that wanted rigorous news. They couldn't be fluffy, it couldn't be overly feature-based. It still needed to be thoughtful and rigorous and journalistically sound, but they wanted us asking questions that mattered to their families. When we've grown that kind of content in our products at the Deseret News, whether it's our local paper, our national publication, our websites, we've seen reader loyalty go up because it really resonates with them. And one of the things we tell our partners all over the country is, look, you need to incorporate some of these ideas into your own coverage, and through the syndication products that we have at the Deseret News, you can build deeper loyalty with your own local audiences in your own market.